I made it. I'm late. Better late than never. This is VannKraken. It is a Wednesday night World of Warships Legends stream. It's going to be a short week again this week, but we're going to try to get some stuff knocked out. It's a busy springtime right now. We're trying to get spring break in with the kids and another soccer tournament coming up this weekend, or some soccer friendlies actually, that we have to travel to. So it's been kind of a crazy day, you guys. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how long I'm going to survive. Lots of stuff has happened since I was last on. I ventured to Phoenix for a soccer tournament. First time on an airplane in a year, which I will say was very bizarre, going through airports and sitting on fully crowded planes with masks, but still completely fully loaded planes, all seats occupied. A little interesting, to say the least. Hey, Hawks Rising, thank you for the follow. If I just caught that on Streamlabs, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Just catching up with what's happened since the last Thursday, I guess, the last time I'm on. So, made it to Phoenix for our soccer tournament. Had a great tournament. Our team won. My daughter's team won. Then coming back, there was only a few people on Monday on my daughter and I's flight from our team. And it turns out today, or actually late last night at 11 o'clock, I found out one of those girls we were hanging out with in the airport came down with COVID. So there's been 10,000 group texts on our soccer parents email list about who's getting tested, what's happening. I wasn't super close to her, nor was my daughter. Had mask on the whole time, but still everyone's kind of rightfully freaking out a little bit. But yesterday I also went and got a COVID vaccination, the first vaccination. So I feel kind of crappy, as does my wife anyway. When you get the vaccine, it makes your immune system work and gives you some flu-like symptoms essentially. So tons of crazy stuff going on. And my computers have still been broken at work. I spent till 9 o'clock tonight, just got home around 9:15, working on computers again. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have that stuff put to bed. Sorry, Hawks, for giving you my life story, but lots of crazy stuff going on. So tonight, what we're going to try to do, we're streaming to both the Twitch and the YouTube side. I'm remiss if I did not say that I'm VannKraken. I am a 4-year World of Warships player and 1-year World of Warships Legends player. Well, actually, gosh, 1.5 going on 2 maybe. Given that I did get to participate in the alpha test program, which was a lot of fun. And I have kind of a stronger attachment to this game on the Legends side, probably because of that, even though I've been playing the PC side for a long time. Superman, thank you so much for the host. Good to see you, my friend. So we try to build a community around here with some great folks, like those who follow Mr. Superman giving us the host. Have a great community started here, been streaming about 6 or 7 months, and have a great group on Twitch, as well as a growing group on YouTube. We are multi-streaming to both sides of the house again tonight. I'm actually following the chat from the YouTube side, though I will catch both in my streaming app, hopefully, if it wants to behave. So plan for tonight is to actually continue to do something that we worked on last week, which was play ships that I've won in campaigns that I really haven't played. So last week, our 2 solid nights were Azuma and Siegfried. Well, Siegfried was new, right? So I hadn't had a chance to play Siegfried yet. That's a reason why. And then I'm going to give a shout out to Superman here real quick if I can, who is a great streamer to follow if you haven't yet. See if I can get this to work on my phone. On the Twitch side. Yes, it worked. I have to do Twitch chat on my phone, and I can do YouTube chat on my computer. So give Superman a follow if you have not. Highly, highly recommend it. Great guy, great streamer, good World of Warships player. So again, this week, instead of just containing ourselves to Azuma and Siegfried, we're calling this the Lost Fleet because we're going to expand the ships that we play to probably Odin, some Wichita, which I played earlier yesterday, I believe. So, and some of these ships I've won them, and then I go back and I start building up new lines, or I play my favorites, which are Boise, Belfast, Atlanta, DeGrasse. So I'm a cruiser main. I do play battleships and some destroyers on stream. Tonight it's going to be, and tomorrow, a little bit more of a mix of battleship and cruiser, because this week our goals are kind of set up for that, which really quick, sorry for the long runway here, but it's the first night streaming of the week. If we look at the Havoc, I did a little bit of pre-work here because I only have 2 nights to stream and I have to leave out of town again on Friday, Saturday, Sunday to go to Salt Lake City. But we need basically Global XP, Commander XP, and we're done with Endurance Trials. And Shakedown, I think it's the same thing every week this time, guys, for the 5-week blocks. So we have the big potential damage, 15 million, 100,000 hit point damage, which isn't too bad, and destroy 15 ships. So for me, this is really going to set up well for doing the super cruisers like Azuma and Siegfried that are going to draw potential damage, be able to dish out damage, and kill some ships. Or battleships. Again, if you're staying undetected like you probably should a good portion of the time in destroyers, you're not going to draw as much potential damage as in a battleship or a large cruiser that's getting shot at all the time, that's squishy. So that's going to be our strategy, is the Lost Fleet, which are some larger ships, almost all, or really all of them that I've gained from campaigns. So, and we had fun last week. I actually got some good work done in Azuma and Siegfried. So I was going to start out in Boise, something really comfortable at tier 6. Tier 7's not my favorite tier. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like really going up often against legendary ships in tier 7s. I feel like since those ships are really tier 9s, tier 10s in game that have been squished down to the legendary tier, really you're fighting up 2 tiers in tier 7 when you're fighting against legendary ships, and then obviously you only get to pick on ships 1 tier below you. So I kind of think tier 7 is a little whacked right now. I'm not a big fan of the way they compress 10 tiers down to 7 on legends plus legendary personally. especially with regard to how it kind of whacks out tier 7 play. But we're gonna go ahead and go with it again this week, and let's just start out. Let's just do Asthma. Why the heck not? And then we'll come back and do Wichita. We need to remember to load up our proper boosters. We're gonna do Global XP. We'll get loaded into a match and ask how people are doing. Hey man, yeah, no problem. Wolfpack keeps popping up on my Steam. Definitely need to do that. Been thinking about it a lot. It's just been super, super insane between work and then soccer season swinging back up again, starting to do some travel. Again, dodging COVID right now. One of the people I was traveling with came down with COVID. So which we just found out last night. Supposed to travel again. Just driving, thankfully, on Friday. So this weekend I'll be gone, but after that it's going to settle back down to a little bit of rhythm again. So hopefully maybe we can catch up, if not this weekend, over the next couple weeks. So try to hook up in Discord and make that happen. That'd be awesome. And thank you for stopping by. I hope you've been doing well. I've been seeing your name pop up. All right, man. Thank you. Have a great night. Get some rest. I need to get rest, but I am making sure that I can get this knocked out. I don't know if I really want Ochakov, to be honest with you. It'll probably become a bit of a port queen for me. I may play it. I am a cruiser main, but it doesn't set up for my favorite kind of gameplay. So we'll see. I definitely like to complete the campaign, so trying to keep things going to stay on track with it, but load up on some coffee here. Oh my, 2 brothers. Have you guys, well, since the patch hit, right, we were supposed to get a more even distribution of maps. Oh, and by the way, they're supposed to actually do another micro patch. Was it tonight or yesterday? Maybe. I think it's coming up tonight or tomorrow, to try to help with the crash issues that people have been having. So that'd be a good thing to get that straightened out. All right, let me switch over something here real quick on the audio. All right, Asthma, big cruiser. Big cruiser. But you don't want to load in this close to the edge. So rather than being the backup kind of guy, I just basically get into a turn. I get into a turn, don't want to be showing broadside to all those battleships. 5 battleships per side. We only got 4, okay. So an imbalance in matchmaking again, which happens a lot at tier 7/legendary tier. Thankfully we're a top tier game. And Hawks, if you're still around, you're new to the stream, I do stream in colorblind mode. That's why my yellows replace some of the reds you see in your color palette. Just have some red-green separation issues. We're going to be using quite a bit of HE in this boat, especially from these distances. And you can see the guns are pretty damn accurate, and they're pretty low arcs. Armor is not a benefit of this ship, nor is its size. Its turning radius is pretty crappy. So I've been likening to call it Fat Mogami, because it's really like a gigantic Mogami, which I like Mogami. This ship's a little easier to get caught out, a little tougher to kite in or do active maneuvering in open water or nearby a ship. Angling away typically from an enemy ship, showing them the skinny part of your boat like the stern, and keeps fishtailing the back of the boat so you're not an easy target to hit. It's a little harder to kite in Asthma just because she is so big. Little difficult to kite in Siegfried too, which we will be playing. She does have a range advantage in the main battery over Mogami, but she does not have the torpedoes, which really kind of stinks. Mogami's torpedoes are awesome. Can definitely deny an area, similar to Atago. If you have Atago as a premium, one of the oldest tier 8 PC Tier 7 Legends premiums around. It's still a very good boat. But for a gigantic ship, she only has 10.4 kilometer detection, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Which makes no sense in Atlanta has worse detection than this big old cruiser, but such is balance, right? Ugh, Chappie just disappeared. We'll definitely be drawing some fire now, most likely. We'll want to pick on this Colorado. See if we can get behind this island here and break detection. We've got the Chappie coming around the edge. Okay, detection's been broken, so let's pause here. Colorado is going to have to make a turn away. So we're going to be able to get a couple salvos at least off on him, and we're going to have to watch for the Chapayev coming around the corner. So let's put our plane up. Okay, Chapayev is turning out. We want to get on the move before we fire. Looks like the Colorado's drawing a lot of fire centrally, so let's get some fire on that Chappie, keep him moving away. He will set us on fire pretty much instantly. This Colorado is taking it in the shorts. Probably didn't want to push up so far ahead of his team. Though he's not super far up, he's just far enough. None of the rest of his team besides the Chappie is detected to take any fire, so he's getting focused. I'll probably cut back in front of the island. There's no destroyers. There's no reason to go too far forward because there's no domination caps. We're not worried about trying to cap. I'm not, if I fire, I'm not going to go in front of the island because I'll get seriously citadeled by him. Ooh, we did get a fire. We have a chance of getting a sneaky kill if we burn him down. Haha. We'll take it. We're not to the kill stage yet, but this will definitely help us with global XP gain. We'll be running mostly premium ships in this Lost Fleet edition this week of the stream. I tend to play my tech tree ships a little bit more than some of these premiums that have come around from the campaigns. Again, just because I tend to play certain favorite premiums that I do extremely comfortably for me, and then... Oh, speaking of Atago, he's going to turn out. I don't know if we want to take a shot at him. But with regard to tech tree ships, I tend to just play them a little bit more. Some of my favorite ships are tech tree ships. And I'm usually trying to grind up a line pretty much all the time. Right now I'm actively working on French cruisers, Russian battleships, US battleships still. Archer, oh my gosh, yeah, 9 hours to the induction and you're on Twitch. I'm honored, my friend. 9 hours and counting for your life changes forever. So how you doing? Is she ready to go? You got all of her stuff packed, obviously, and everything's going okay. Checking out with whatever latest checkup you've had. Hopefully. It's exciting. I remember, well, so the first one, Archer's having, well, not personally having a baby. He gets the easier part, being there. But on the first one, they checked her in the night before. So, yeah, you're doing the way the second one for me went, which was Gwen. Or I shouldn't use their names necessarily. My first daughter, they had my wife come in the night before. And they induced during the middle of the night and told me, oh, I could come back, sleep in. It would be a while. And then I got this kind of call from my wife, you need to come now, because things started progressing a little quicker than they expected. So that was one approach. And then the second one was also an induction. That one we did in the morning, which sounds like what you guys are doing. The second one tends to induce faster than the first. So, well, that's cool, man. Exciting for you guys. Cody-san. What's up? How are your body pillows, my friend? You keeping them company? Keeping them warm at night? The old man. Now you're gonna keep calling me that? Is that a compliment or is that a, are you riding me? Oldish is probably true though. Oh, you got your model train on Monday? What kind did you get? I know you do that. Oh my. Not paying attention. We're gonna scrape by. This must be the term scraping by. House is still not, your house is still not done, but okay. That's good that they're finishing tomorrow, Archer, because again, you're already gonna be a little bit, just if I recall correctly. I mean, there's a lot of adrenaline the first few days. Everything is totally new. Your body pillow's on the wall. So, I mean, it'll be fun, but also exciting, mildly. Everything is like, oh my God, am I going to break the baby? You know, with the first one. So just changing them and bathing them and all that stuff. It gets a lot easier. Like the second one, we just would joke, well, the second one isn't treated nearly as carefully as the first. Which maybe would happen to Cody, I don't know. You have an older sister, right, Cody? Or is she, oh, she might be younger. They're the streaming clan. So yeah, I just remember the first one, everything was new. Changing clothes, changing diapers, bathing, feeding. The worst is like not knowing when they're kind of choking on stuff, when it's serious and when it's not. Pokemon train, cool. Older sister. So yeah, so you were like casually raised, like, we know how to do this now. Scrub Sharnhorse shooting HE at a broadside asthma. You want to be doing HE there, people. HE at no HE at broadside cruisers. Only AP. Sharnhorse guns load pretty quick, so there's really no reason not to load the correct ammo. Ooh, he got stuck? Now that I've coached him, it looks like he shot AP that time. Can we set him back on fire? Yes! Asthma, 27% fire chance. And 9 shells. That's why I use primarily HE rounds in Asthma. If you see me play Siegfried this week, Siegfried will be mostly armor piercing. Only 6 guns, lower German HE fire chance. How did he stop that quick? Post-war Lionel starts at late 1945 through 1969. That's a good year. You can probably guess why that's such a good year. Not just because Bryan Adams wrote a song about the summer of '69. Late 40s and mid 50s. It's crazy with eBay and stuff in this generation how much easier it is to try to acquire that kind of stuff. I remember there was a model train type store somewhere in my neighborhood, but they had mostly new stuff. I didn't have a ton of train stuff. I didn't really have room for it. I made models, so I have model mess all over. Okay, let's see if we can get... Oh, shite. There's Colorado back there. I kind of want to time my turn. Okay. It looks like more ships were shooting at me than actually were, because the Colorado was probably aiming at the battleship in front of me. but it looked like I had an extra ship aiming at me because we're so close together. We're on the same line of sight path. Ugh, gotta rotate my guns, unfortunately. I can't shoot with all guns on the Scharnhorst without giving complete broadside to the Colorado. And this week is starting off the way the week normally does. I'm already the last hope. And this is the situation where a ship like Azuma or Siegfried or any cruiser does not excel. And that's when you're being focused down. We've done decently damage-wise. We have a kill. So we've kind of done the supporting work that we can basically get done in this ship in this round. And we can survive. Again, Scharnhorst shells are relatively small. So as long as we keep dodging and weaving here. There's another dead one. We can kite something like the Sharn. Colorado, that's a tougher story. And then we're getting set on fire by the Otago. He just stayed way on the outside. He just had more effective battleships than I did. So this is the case with Otago. I don't have a super high win rate so far in this boat, but I have usually pretty good damage games and a decent amount of kills. It's just impossible to carry in it when you're 1v multiple. Especially when you got 4 shooting at you right now. So let's see, you said finished the dining room. Archer said they finished the dining room and kitchen floors today and got cabinets in. Sweet. Countertops and laundry room. Floors to be done tomorrow. Well, the cool thing is you're done, and it sounds like you said before it was an upgrade, so that will actually be really nice to have that done before the baby got there, mostly. Because what they say, remodeling is one of the most stressful things on a relationship. And especially if you're all tired because you have a baby in the house, it could be worse. So that's good. Cody said, yes, I saw a boxcar that has an SPD Dauntless dive bomber on the side. Really? That would be cool. Dauntless, one of the coolest World War II attack planes. Basically changed the war in the Pacific nearly single-handedly. I love those slotted flaps. Oh, did you put the photo on Discord? Cool, let me get this match straight and I'll check it out. So we finished second. Not bad. But look at that. We're the only ships that had kills. If you don't know how to drive an Agato and you show your side armor, you can die quickly. Turpit's probably charged in. These were all ships on the other side. So, I think. Alright, kind of ugly. But we needed to get, I think, 1,000 global XP, and we got 640. Yeah, so that's not too bad, eh? I love those cheese grater dive flaps. And that was one of the key aspects of the airframe, right? That you could go into that really steep dive, which I think reduced the chance that you were destroyed by flak on your dive because you're more difficult to hit. And then secondly, I think that dive made the bombing runs more accurate. Show off the boxcar. Let me see if I can get it to work. We'll go to monitor 2 in a second here. Let's see if you DM that to me. There it is. Oh, we can all view the body pillows together. These are not Lionel body pillows. Oh, that is sweet. Hopefully you guys can see that. Tell me if you can't. It's not very Not very big. That was cool though. Spirit of the Union Pacific. Yeah, I like that. Only problem is you can't see the flaps. It's not in some crazy dive. Whoops. Click out. Very cool. Yeah, you should get that one. How much does that run? And is it big enough to carry one of these body pillows on top? Or would that be so big and floppy it would just like flop down over the sides probably? Definitely couldn't put it across. You'd have to put it the long way. Maybe on the entire train. Something like that. All right. Hopefully that worked. Let's go back to gameplay. Guys seeing the backside of the stream. Yeah, that is cool. $40. That seems reasonable, though I don't know anything about train pricing right now. You have my approval. Get that one. Always better when you combine two different things you like, right? Is that the pillow? Was that North Carolina? So what, is that like Etsy? Someone hand paints those or something? Is that the dealio? Well, you need to get a bigger train, like the kind that Walt Disney had in his backyard that he could ride around on. You could ride around on one of those, like, you know, the cars. He could straddle the car. It was like, I don't know what gauge that was, but big enough where you could lay back on your body pillow while riding the train. That'd be cool. All right, we'll move away from Azuma. Let's do Wichita. I played the first game in Wichita last night in Eons. It ended similarly to the Azuma game, getting chased around the map. So we only need 300 global XP, but we're going to go for a triple booster because I'm really trying to minimize my number of games. It's just like last week where I have to totally jam. Short week, traveling again. This time we're going to Salt Lake City. Well, that is if the team can go, given that one of the kids came down with COVID and exposed some of the other players. So again, we just happened to hang with them for a short while in the airport. We didn't ride next to them on the plane. Thankfully, at the time, I was upset that I'm completely out of habit on travel. So we're flying Southwest, out and back. I forgot to check into my flight when I normally would. So we got a later seating selection. Only bummer is my daughter had to ride by herself. She's 13, but she did fine. Not my totally shy daughter that would absolutely flipped out on me for not sitting with her. But in retrospect, because we had the seating section, we didn't ride with these friends, and my daughter didn't sit right next to this girl that wound up having COVID on the entire flight. So that's actually a good thing. We just went to the breakfast place and got some sandwiches, but we sat, you know, a couple seats away for distancing purposes in the terminal. And my daughter was around her, but not in the same room, not rooming together at the event. So crazy weekend. Again, at least the girls did really well. They haven't played on a big field for eons, but they won like 9-0, 6-0, tied the last game 0-0, but had a ton of chances to score. Didn't give up any goals in 3 games. Dude, I need to turn in front of you. Let's gain some speed. Just let me get in front of you and swing my butt. Look at this. We can do it. No, don't turn into me. Turning into me bad. Okay. Where are you going, battleship? At least it's a... Is that a Conqueror? That's a Vanguard. Okay. At least it's a British ship in the British camo. I approve of that. Now we're actually high tier again. 2 games in a row. was noticing Wichita has pretty sweet main battery range. Oop, throw on the brakes. Fiji. Oh, Fiji, you're living dangerously, dude. That island does not give you a lot of cover. He has smoke, but probably not the place he wants to be. I've tried to go there in an Atlanta. I like playing Atlanta. You cannot hide in an Atlanta on that spot. He'll have to use smoke, and odds are he's not going to get out of that middle of the map alive. He's hiding by... You can hide behind the phallic pagoda, and it still doesn't really protect you. Yeah, he's gonna be in some pain. This is the range on this boat. What are we looking at? We're looking at 17-kilometer main battery. The hood is going to stay in our main battery range here for a couple salvos before he turns away. Of course, we have to actually connect and not shatter. Ugh, just missed. If we back in, can we get shots on the Bismarck? So, Archer, did they say you have to basically go and hang out, or are they going to induce and you go home for a while? I guess they're probably planning on inducing and having it go a little more swiftly if you're going in the morning. Hey, Tactic. Dude. Hey, I actually changed... I took the setting off that had the blurred background. That was a NVIDIA setting. So it's not as blurry as it was, but... Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. But I had to switch to a different webcam software. And what I have to tell you, it's not an excuse. It's just that I am colorblind. So things like color correction, I hate to say it, are very difficult for me versus a person who has normal color vision. Because the kinds of things that you're talking about with color contrast and stuff like that, I'm afraid if I mess with the settings too much, that it will look really, really bad. So I've kind of left it on auto, which I know that doesn't give you the best settings. But I'm a little bit self-conscious about my color vision. So that's the main reason I haven't monkeyed with the settings too much. Here I go talking and dying. So anyway, call it what you will, but it's a little bit interesting. It's not really anything that affects me in day-to-day operations other than things like, again, color-related things can be a little bit difficult for me. I just found a picture of when I was a kid, and I was in a incredibly bad color combination between socks, shirt, OP pants, things that we wore when I was a kid. Like, I don't know why my parents let me out of the house. So anyway, yeah, we did go to a different set of camera settings, but my next thing is to go back to a video from one of the streaming guys that I follow, and he gives you a walkthrough on how to basically use all the manual settings. So next time, if it looks clearer, but you're going, why is the color choices so whacked out, then you'll know. You can be my personal color correction coach. Tonight was just hard getting done with work, getting computer stuff done, and actually even getting on. So well, hey, if you're going to be good at something, be good. Be the best you can be. All right, let's push the edge here a little bit. See if we can get some fire on the Biz. Wichita has pretty good bow armor, but when I was getting hit and talking, it was more of showing the side, which we don't want to do. Biz is gonna sit. It's not really sitting in a workable range for a German battleship. He's on the very edge of what would even be reasonable accuracy, though the Bismarck buffs have helped. We've seen a lot more Bismarck buffs out, or Bismarcks out in general since the buff. Which is, I think, a 3% main accuracy buff. Main battery dispersion buff. Increase of normalization, meaning you can hit people at sharper angles with your AP. So, a lot more folks out in Bismarck of late. Okay, we've got a fire. Tier 7, man, I tell you, did just the Asthma and Siegfried show last week, and it's a lot different, you know, when you're not in legendary tier. Now we're gonna hit the island. I didn't check my shoulder. But yeah, a lot different in those ships in a tier 7 match, true tier 7 match, an up tier or a high tier match versus playing against legendaries, man. A lot tougher versus legendaries. And again, it's really like playing against 2 tiers up when you're playing against legendaries, and obviously you only get to play against 1 tier down. So tier 7 is the one tier to me that has the toughest matchmaking in the legend side of the World of Warships universe, just because of the scrunch tier structure. Though if you play PC, you play +2, -2, except for some of the lower tiers. So, and when you first start, you get some protected matchmaking up until, I think, tier 5 for a certain number of games. Yeah, you have to definitely be wary of the overmatch capability of the main batteries. Oh, goodness. And I've come right out in front of them. Okay, kite away. Okay, it doesn't help that I've played... This is the second game I've played in Wichita in probably the amount of time that I've owned it, except for maybe 2 games after I first got it. So we're really focusing this last week and this week on playing some ships that we haven't played. So I was pleasantly surprised by Siegfried. Again, definitely tougher in a legendary tier matchup than when top tier or even level tier. But we had some good matches in Siegfried, and Asthma, again, strong support ship, but not easy to carry in. Good grief. HE slinging battleships. Alright, well, it looks like our team's going to come through with the win. We only needed about 300 global XP to get what we needed to get out of this match. We're out of heals. We're gonna squeak by on a few hit points. Okay, broke detection. Set another fire. Ah, double fire, revenge. Yeah, tactic, that's what I've been averaging, is somewhere between 70 and 100 typically in the games with Asthma. That fire chance is fantastic. High damage alpha strike with the HE. And the AP works reasonably well against cruisers, that is for sure. Even at range, I was getting citadels from 12 or 13 kilometers. See if the King George is smart enough to pick me out since I'm low health. Not yet. And then Siegfried, I had a pretty good go last week as well, damage output wise. My high was about 130,000. Little easier to have some carry potential in her just because she has some armor, but not against tier 7s, or tier 7s is tougher, and legendary tier is really tough. Just don't want to get focused in that ship. which is why a lot of people I think say they don't like it or that it sucks. Doesn't have the 27mm bow armor, but it'd be a little bit of a wonky ship at tier or against tier 6s with 27-inch bow plate. So again, it's just a victim of a wonky scrunch from tier 9 down to tier 7, essentially. But it's just not a ship to go into immediate cap position, especially if you're low tier. So Wipe says, super sad, to be honest, those ships be entirely different way compared to your normal cruiser role. It is a different, it's more of a standoff role. And Asthma continues to be standoff role until things thin out, though. Again, at tier or high tier, you can push in with Siegfried as long as you stay angled. When you have the chance, actually had multiple games where I could get my secondaries working. And using the torpedoes was fun. You think you saw that last week, Cody? Look at the mustard. Is that red on yours, that part? Yeah, I think Tactic, you should tell WG it's too blurry in colorblind mode. It looks smoky. I kind of like the Siegfried too. And it is, well, it's definitely feels like you're playing a battleship, doesn't it? Just feels like you're playing a battleship that only has 6 guns. And can't really show its side armor unless you're high tier. Uh-oh, someone got hit by the bot. Let me see if you're trying to post a link. What is it? Permit? Try that. I think permit allows you to post links if you want to post a link. Campaign boat in that screen is on full-on mustard mode. Yeah, it might be red on yours. Yeah, my bots are like psycho. Totally psycho. 10 point something detectability on a battleship is crazy. Yeah, she has low detection. And that's what I like about Asthma too. It's just funny to me that those giant cruisers have lower detectability than Atlanta, right? That's what cracks me up. Good game by Belfast. And we got what we needed. Wow, we got 1,000 free XP out of that game. Global XP, let me say it that way. And we got our Bureau Trial, 100,000 knocked out. Manage a Dreadnought. Probably help with our global XP. So that's done. What's up next? Commander XP. So let's go cruiser again. We could do Siegfried. Change this to Commander XP. Actually, this is a really good set of missions to use Asthma and Siegfried on because you need potential damage. So to me, it's like a little more my style to get to play something that's cruiser-esque. Especially Siegfried and Asthma, people love to shoot at them. So it was pretty damn easy to get all three of the key things hit at the same time. The potential damage, the damage, and the ship kills. So it's a good combo. Bot needs to ask you some questions. It's a drunken bot. You know, Twitch has a brand risk score now embedded in its API, so I have to have these bots dialed up so that I can get these gigantic endorsement deals since I'm not a Twitch affiliate, since I haven't signed any contracts. My bots make my stream very wholesome. So what do you guys think about the ship packages? I'm kind of torn. I mean, there's 2 good ship packages out there. The US one is nice, and the other one with the Scharnhorst is nice as well. I'd really like the Scharn. I really would like the Kid. West Virginia's a good throw-in with that. But I wish, like PC, we could just have like the 25% off coupon once every quarter. That would be awesome. You do tactic? Did you grow up somewhere ex-US, or are you ex-US? I can't remember. My European friends that I worked with in the pharmaceutical industry all spoke like 4 to 5 languages. Especially my Dutch friends. Made me very jealous. What are we looking at here? Good God, 3 games in a row. Yeah, I saw the Kid flag comes with that. What was the 3rd ship? It was, oh, Flint, right? God, that's a good package. That's a tempting package. But I really wanted the Scharn. I don't know if I wanted a Abruzzi. Honestly. Okay, let's not head straight in. Yeah, especially since there's going to be multiple battleships. Let's take a wider attack here. Just not going to be that Siegfried guy that's first ship into the cap. This AP is pretty reliable, I must say. Can really do well against lower tier ships, but reliable against higher tier ships as well, or same tier ships. You aim in the right places. You're American, born in Ohio, you can speak terrible German, French, Italian, and a few select words in Polish. I took Spanish, so I can say a decent amount of Spanish, including a few words in Spanish that aren't good words. My kids at their school take Latin, but I'm encouraging them they should probably take some Spanish. Something they can use. Oh my, we have an Ohio connection. Order a pizza and a lot of other things you shouldn't hear. Okay, we're gonna hold position here. Actually, I have to consider what surface I'm gonna be giving that Bismarck and the Gneisenau. So maybe we'll tuck here. We're gonna be under secondary battery fire shortly. Try to work the superstructure with the AP. Again, German HE, not the highest fire chance. Call for focus fire. Okay, so we have the DD on our side. Unless those are cruiser torpedoes. Okay. So that Gneisenau is asking for some broadside fire. About torpedo range. Yeah, that's what we can do even at almost 16 kilometers on the Gneisenau. That was a pretty good hit. Kind of lost our support, so I'm not pushing. Oh, we do have the Jean Bart forward. I did not lost track of that. Okay, so let's push up on the mass. Good job, Jean Bart. Let's help him with the Bismarck. He's low health. He's out. Shoot. If I had pushed straight ahead, I was going to give full broadside on the right to the Bismarck, which is kind of why I chose to pull back a little bit. Do have a 1-ship lead. Yeah, I will give you a shout out as well. Let me finish this game. You're always kind with the hosts, my friend. Appreciate it. Just saw that you have to work in the morning. You heading out? All right, man. Enjoy your new train set. Enjoy your body pillow. May North Carolina lull you off to sleep. Okay, Bismarck. Oh my, there's what can happen. Shoot. Erg. Say, we have torpedoes, the Bismarck does not. Just he's happened to have VannKraken support. Damn it. Come on. Secondary range is not real strong on this boat. Angle and just keep our front turrets in play. Ugh. So I got greedy there. Shoot. Wrong button. Okay, so what happened? So our support didn't come. In a perfect world, I would have checked my shoulder to see that these guys were sitting and not coming with me. If they had come with me, they could have discouraged broadside fire from this position, which got me for some damage, and then I just kind of brain farted and lost track of the destroyer support behind the Bismarck. So it's just going to basically wind up being an extension of the game for these guys. They're going to live a little longer, but they're not going to win because basically took a very defensive position. I wasn't going to push any further forward than taking out the Bismarck and looping back. You don't need to push forward more forward than the horizontal middle of the map on this map when there's no domination caps. Yeah, I needed a little bit more of an angles is true. Yeah. But I was a little worried of giving too much broadside here and potential second rack of torpedo or reloaded rack of torpedo angle on the VannKraken. So I just pushed him, got myself into no man's land, really. But if we had had ships coming with me, dividing up fire where I wasn't taking the focus fire in that location, I probably could have survived that. Hopefully taken out the Bismarck and then loop back. Yeah, it's definitely something that I played probably 10, maybe 15 games in it last week, so I got my feet wet. But it's a work in progress, but I kind of like the challenge of it, honestly. That's a low damage game, but again, we lost our Jean Bart. I just didn't want to push in with him that early. I definitely would have got focused down sooner if I had pushed up into that middle position. So if he had hung back a little longer, we could have dealt with that Massachusetts and then taken out the Bismarck together and maybe teamed up and pushed a little bit after that. But it is what it is. All right. So we still need... Yeah, that's one of the first times I played that with Siegfried, though I've had Asma and Siegfried on that map now tonight. I have noticed it looks like since they made kind of the equal chance of getting different maps, I'm seeming to get a little bit more of a map distribution than prior. I don't know about yourself. But to me, that is a definite improvement. It was getting like we were playing the same maps over and over. Let's do... Oh, actually, Siegfried back. Let's re-rack this. Was actually the good thing about playing Siegfried and Azuma only last week, too, is that especially if you're a newer player. If you hop around and play different ships from different nation lines and different types of ship, destroyer one game, battleship another, cruiser another, especially if you're a new player, it can be a little bit discombobulating to adapt to the different play style of each ship that you're shifting between. So last week playing Asma and Siegfried, enough of a beginning game, first 5 minutes mode of being a little bit standoffish and then figuring out how to push in, gets you in a rhythm. And then this week I'll probably mix these ships up with some battleship play. So still similar enough. Yeah, me neither. That's what I was getting. I was getting Sleeping Giant over and over. Which, I don't know, that's a tough map. That map is like Lemming Train induction map. Seems like there's always Lemming Trains on that map. You can see they move the battleship spawns back a little bit. Maybe a little bit with these guys. A little bit more behind the island, not so far forward. At least that was the rumor, that they were going to adjust spawns on this map. Given that it's the worst offender in that middle cap. Okay, fire, angle in, and then just kind of hold position. Not bad. I did get the reload down on this boat to just a little over 20 seconds, I think. Asima still seems really long. They're like 25-ish. Okay. Got... Yeah, no kidding about Sleeping Giant tactic. The two sides of that map are so disparate. A is so enclosed and C is, you know, open. So a lot of teams seem to want to just push through C as a group. But it seems like when the enemy team wants to do that, my team wants to go to the far side of A as a group. So, just hard to get team coordination on that map. It's definitely more fun to play that map in a division. Okay, we got... Ooh, we don't want to be broadside to the Iowa, do we? So let's complete our turn. I'm not sure who's aiming at me. It's not the Iowa yet. That wasn't very fun. Azimuth's broadside, so let's choose the Azimuth over the Iowa. Good grief. Russian guns. Okay, we're gonna wiggle a little bit, but wiggling is impaired in this ship. She's a little tough to wiggle in versus my normal cruiser wiggle. Dude, where are you going? Ugh. Ay, Synop. Kind of ridiculous. Everyone loves shooting at this ship. Alright. Come back in and see if we can work on the Iowa. Nye's now pushed a little far. If our destroyer is able to use the islands on that side to stay alive for a little while. Ugh. Yeah, we can't continue on that course. Sweet. We did get a citadel on the Gneisenau. Hopefully these guys in the middle are distracted by the two battleships on the other side of B. Get our turn completed before we're showing them full broadside. Yeah, they both look like they're distracted, looking to their right. Down down 2 ships to 1 already. Iowa's got 4 ships aiming at us now. So let's kite the Iowa. Asma will be going behind the island. Okay. So Tactic was mentioning this ship has pretty low detection. Ah, there's a DD. You say we were going to go dark, but we can't. The Z-23 is going to mess that plan up. So we'll keep firing just because right now we're not going to be able to go dark. We don't have smoke. See if we can help out on the Z, which we did. If not for the destroyer, I would have gone dark or just stopped firing just to break detection and get the guns off of me, make these guys find a new target. Shoot, I didn't think he was aiming at me. Got away with that. Come on. He got turned. So basically, if you're getting targeted by multiple ships and you're in a cruiser or a ship with not the greatest armor protection, if you're in an ability to stop firing and have those ships be outside your detection range, then like right now, that eye will blink out. The enemy ships will have to move their turrets, find a new target, especially when it's a battleship. That can be to your advantage to find a moment to reposition and then re-engage. We need to get some caps, so I'm going to have to push back into center, whether I like it or not, to help with capping. Just couldn't really go in straight with that. Iowa there. I won't hold up versus Iowa's guns. And what is our... We have detectability down to 11.7. You can go less than that if you use a different combination of commander skills. Okay. Still an engagement going on at A. It's my friend, the Gneisenau again. See if we can engage these guys on the opposite side of the island. Support our Odin. Maybe catch them broadside while they're bow in on the Odin. Odin, don't push. He's stuck. He's stuck and he's going to be dead. Hey, Goat. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Just working on some ships that I don't play that often. Going to play some Siegfried and Asma again this week. Some Wichita. A lot of my tier 7 campaign premiums. Ugh. Let's get some shots on the destroyer first if we can. We're in a bad angle to these battleships central now. Our friendly Odin is dead. How are you doing, Goat? Are you doing the campaign? I can't remember. I think I saw you briefly last week. I know the Ochakov is not going to be a ship for everybody. But the value of Admiralty backing is still pretty dang good. A lot of those extra ships, if that's what you mean, yeah. I have a decent number of Port Queens. Again, this week I want to get some games in Odin. Roma, I've played a grand total of 2 matches in. Alaska, I've barely played. Honestly, I played Alaska on PC a lot more than on Legends. Alright. I think I'm going to go one more in Siegfried. I'd just like to get this... Let's see. I'd like to get one win in that boat. See where we're at on our missions. Ochakov is a pretty solid ship. Disappointed by its concealment, but still enjoy it more than Chapayev. Did you buy out the campaign for the steel earnings, steel missions tactic? I mean, someone like you obviously can play it. The ones that I've seen in game, I've only seen 1 out of like 5 that was played anywhere nearly accurately. 4 disintegrated really, really fast. I had one guy on my team playing one who went in and supported a cap and tried to engage DDs, and then when it got hot, he got out and re-engaged. So he's the first player I saw that actually did pretty well in it. But I've seen other folks struggle. I'll just put it that way. So you bought the Orkin to get Swirsky. Okay, that's cool. I've seen some good games in Orkin put up from my teammates. And Swirsky is a good concealment commander, that is for sure. Yeah, I use Bay. But I'm definitely never seemingly the top dog when it comes to concealment without having Swirsky. So Tactic, you like Ochakov better than Chapayev, so you're not as much of a standoff HE spamming meta. I have not ground up the Russian line. I enjoyed Chappie on PC, but I have not re-engaged that line. I like the middle tier ships a little better. I like Molotov. I have not completed the line split on PC. I'm actually trying to regrind to get to the Petro one of these days. Haven't been able to make much progress over there lately. Alright, let's use a plane real quick. See if we can ferret anybody out at this cap. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grind Ochakov the old-fashioned way. And what are we? Well, we're high tier again, so let's try taking a little more aggressive line and oh, okay. We're gonna dip in and then dip out. This could be a bad decision, we'll see. Hold fire. Itago. Broke detection. There he is. Just holding my fire to get a shot on the Itago and then be able to angle away. And that was worth it. Got a Citadel hit. So Goat, you like the French DDs. Yeah, if you've played the French DDs a lot, that meta is going to be an easier transition. And then having that, especially in a team situation, man, if you play in a division or have teammates that will focus fire DDs when you get on that cap and light those DDs, that can be an incredibly big asset to have an Orkin on your squad. Okay, that DD is not drawing any fire because he's not detected. I've got 3 ships teeing me up, so I'm just not going to go in alone. Against 2 battleships. Let's see if we can play this a little smarter. Getting some good damage. Keep working the main guns. Come back around this island. I'd turn in, but I don't want to give broadside to both these guys at the same time. Come on, reload. Hit the island. It's a little further out than I wanted to go, but we still have the main battery range to get fire on both the Odin and the Mass. You're a thoughtfully aggressive alcoholic. Yeah, I mean, it is more of a standoff play. Okay. He's a Krispy Kreme in disguise, is the Odin. Getting some resets. Now we'll go bow in. Hopefully we can get the Odin pretty well worked down. Massachusetts will be broadside to us. Yeah, goat. That's smart too. Kind of dictating who's in the caps, right? I just think a lot of people won't have necessarily the patience with Orkin. They'll just start firing when they're not in a position where they have an escape route identified or they don't have teammate support. Okay, get the bow into the mast, but we've got the Odin coming the other way. Come on. Let's push hard. So we don't give broadside to the Odin, unless he's gonna stay put. Angle more. Odin's kind of hanging. And we've lost our battleship on this side. Look at our squad. Our squad is totally depleted. Alright. We're gonna just go in and do what we can do. I'm gonna use torpedoes on the mass, and we're gonna line up our guns on the Otago. And we lost our torpedo tubes. Great. That kind of stinks. Got the dodge. Oh, not this dodge, though. Ugh. Damn it. Man, if we didn't lose those torpedo tubes, we could have easily taken out the Massachusetts with torps and then used guns on the Otago. Hey, Dark Architect, how are you on the other side of your papers? Or sorry, your presentation. You said it went well? Good to hear. Yeah, that's not the fastest DD, the Orkin, is it? And then, as I understand it, the rear gun angles on your main turrets are not fantastic, right? So when you're kiting out, it's not like you can necessarily finish off someone low health all that easily. So, well, we got a good, much better damage score. We did get the kill on the mass, and man, would have been much easier to, again, engage that Otago if we hadn't lost our torpedo tubes. I haven't noticed it losing torpedo tubes horribly in Odin, but I have had several games where they haven't been there when I needed them. Go play it passive and then use the radar when they smoke and kill them. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're in a position where you're not going to get focus fired by 2 or 3 or 4 ships on the enemy team when you do that. And if you play enough DD and you position yourself smartly with some hard cover to escape with, I've definitely seen some Orkins pull that off very effectively. And then again, if you have teammates, especially division teammates, and you can focus fire when you radar, all the better. Turret's kind of bad, but B turret is all right. Yeah, I was looking at that package of Leningrad. It's a Brutzi, right? And Sharn. Leningrad has a wonky turret too. I have it on PC. I actually like it. Again, I'd like to just have a 25% off coupon to just buy the Sharn straight out, but I mean, it's kind of like getting a ship for mostly free when it's 30,000 gold for 3 ships. Not completely free, but a discount, but still. Just don't know if I want a Brutzi. I hate paying for ships that I'm not all that jazzed to get. Alright, well, did a little better in that game. Commander XP goal is closer. Should be able to knock it out on this one. Well, that's tactic. Everything I've read about it is... And again, I read a lot of the PC side just because that's where I came from, and I can kind of usually mentally triangulate, as well as reading some of the input from people on the Legend side. And I'm not a big fan of the Italian cruiser gunnery. I just feel like they're anemic. Yeah, there's no SAP, but the SAP doesn't do a whole hell of a lot versus battleships. It's really a cruiser and destroyer ammo type. So you're still pretty anemic with your Alpha Strike of HE when you need to use it on battleships. Your AP generally even worse. So, and you're down to what? Maneuverability with kind of a flaccid ability to give any kind of return damage. So not necessarily something I want to pay up for. I have Duca de Asta on PC, and it's kind of the same thing. It's fun to drive around. It's fast, low gun arcs, high muzzle velocity, but I just don't enjoy the playstyle a ton. Hey, Dark, off to bed. Just want to drop by and say hey. Hi, thank you for doing that, man. I saw you had a video come out. I'm trying to remember what it was on. So I've got to catch that as well. Drop by and watch your video. So glad school stuff went well. Hopefully you get a little bit of a break. So, or I don't know, maybe it's back into the fire. That would seem to be like for me. One thing to the next. So have a great one, man. Let me give a quick shout out. Doing this on phone, just less easy. Shout out to Dark. Tactic, do you stream on Twitch? Or do you just get on YouTube? Let's see what it does for you. Some shout outs for Tactic and for Dark Architect. Yeah, I hadn't seen you pop up on the Twitch side. All right. We should be able to knock out... should be able to knock out the Commander XP on this game. Can't we? Can we do that? All right, we're going to go one more game in Siegfried. I feel like we're improving at least. This will probably be a legendary tier game. I like this boat. I should like Odin because I like Scharnhorst a lot. Though I don't own Scharnhorst on Legends, just on PC. But I like the whole German... I know it's not technically... They're not technically battle cruisers, but... Sharn plays similar to a battle cruiser style. I know that's not her technical designation. But I much prefer Scharnhorst to Gneisenau. And I haven't played Odin a lot, though she's kind of a higher tier version of what Sharn offers with the torpedoes. Smaller caliber guns, workable armor, pretty good maneuverability. Have not played Odin a lot. I don't know why. Just too many lines to grind. I like grinding lines. I like collecting ships. I think I have 105 total ships, and it's just more than, unfortunately, than I have time to play right now. That will hopefully change over time. Back on estuary. God, we're getting really lucky. So what do we got battleship wise this time? Another mass, Bismarck, Gneisenau, Gneisenau. And we have a divisioned Gneisenau and Bismarck. Got lucky, they're failed divisioned. Lucky the Gneisenau didn't get pulled into a legendary tier match. Always best, unless you have a destroyer you're really confident in and you want to division at 2 tiers, it's just not recommended, especially if you're a newer player. What are you guys doing? Are you AFK? Nice now. Alright, I don't want to be the first ship in. And I just don't like playing a backing up playstyle, so let's go forward and let's do a sweeping turn. I won't fire until I've initiated my turn. So I'm not giving full broadside, hopefully, when I'm in firing position. Or at least I want to be at a speed where I'm at a changing angle and a little more difficult to hit. Though Siegfried is a big fat target. Boy, I'm going to have to switch my guns. Can't cut in front of that island. I'm going to be giving completely flat side to both those guys for too long. So let's kite out. Hopefully these guys push a little bit. Start dividing fire. Ugh. Gneisenau is not supposed to be that accurate. And we get an overpen. Let's slow down and turn, maybe throw his aim off. Oh, and we have a DD, so good thing we're not jamming middle. Sometimes just a little alteration in your speed with throwing some turning in will help out with regard to kiting out, especially in cruisers. A little harder to pull off in a ship like this that doesn't change speeds as easily. This Cossack is really brave. Oh, I thought he was gonna throw more of a turn. Let's see if we can keep him in sight until we have a chance to fire. Oh, we weren't getting aimed at by anybody. Okay, got one hit. Gonna use a heal. This Cossack owner probably has not played that boat a whole lot. He didn't really use any stealth. Probably could have held fire. Put himself in a bad position. Just because you're attacking battleships doesn't mean they're not going to whittle you down. Okay. Oh, there's an Gneisenau inboard. And he really just wanted to continue to push. So the Bismarck looks isolated. So we can push the Bismarck now, hopefully. We've tried to do this in a couple games, and it hasn't worked out. Bismarck's main battery guns are not a super high caliber. So if we stay angled, like Mr. Tactic said, with a little bit of angle, not completely straight on, we're going to take some secondary battery fire. But hopefully we can manage main battery damage. I'm probably not going to use my back turret right now. Aim just above the armor belt. 12,000 on that salvo. Might be able to get my secondaries working a little bit. He's stuck on the island. Let's see if he's smart enough to slow down a bit. Looks like he might be. Bow in. That was a good dodge on his part. Could have waited a little longer. Come on, friends. Ugh. Okay. Well, we took a pretty good amount of damage, but we got to bully. Yeah, I didn't want to ram him by accident. That was... Oh, you do a full 40 to 45. Okay, that's a little wider than I was thinking. I guess you don't want that front plate, bulkhead plate, to be flat though, right? You're trying to angle that plate. The 26-degree plate, or 26-inch plate. Okay, now we'll flex back central. We have two choices. We could try to push their cap, or we can support our cap. And we can take this central route here, which allows us to go either way. I don't want to go necessarily for their cap and just for virtue of capping alone. If these guys have any health left in these battleships, I'd like to support my teammates who are back here in our cap area, given that we have a point lead, we have a ship lead. That's true. Yeah, that normalization changed, right? And normalization is just the angle at which AP armor can, or AP rounds can penetrate armor when you're shooting. I think they changed the wording of that in this patch to you can penetrate AP at an increased angle. This means you can shoot at plate with more of an angle and have it bite into the enemy plate and penetrate. 45 and swing. Yeah, so it's changing. Okay, that's a good call. I'm doing better in this ship angling than I was like in the first 4 or 5 games. I took a paddling. And I think I was 2 bow on. And then again, I got in too deep a little too early where I couldn't... Ooh, had a die hard for that Gneisenau. Where I couldn't maintain my heading such that I was not giving broadside to somebody. Broadside does not hold up in this ship, again, against similar tier or higher tier ships very well. So we're going to want to bow into the Bismarck. And we'll give it the angle tactic, saying about a 45-degree-ish angle. Probably more like this. I was more straight on. And with German battleships that have turtleback armor, if you just aim just above the armor belt with AP, you can still do very nice penetrations there, like 4,000 per shell, which gives you the chance to do 14,000, 18,000. I'm not going to show my rear turret at this point.
The ship is on fire.
Maybe I can now to finish him. He'll be dead though. Yep. Oh my god, I was going to just say, don't set me on fire.
The ship is on fire.
That last secondary round. That's just wrong. Okay, the destroyer's a little far off. He has 10-kilometer torpedo range, roughly. Ah, didn't get the Gneisenau. Oh, shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hydro. Come on, dip, dodge, and duck. German Hydro. The best Hydro. Come on, secondaries. Benson's not going to be able to pen me as easily with AP as some other cruisers. Oh, dang it. We have long-lasting Hydra, so let's keep pushing him. Secondaries are not that accurate, eh? Oh man, he's doing a good job of faking that left turn.
Our team is taking the lead.
It's the issue with 6 guns. There we go. When they land, they have some pack. They pack some punch. All right. Once you get that Alpha Strike with those HE shells that are bigger HE shells, it can work over a destroyer quite well. Again, you only get 6. Oh, wait. You were saying when you were testing it, every team had 2 Massachusetts or more. Yeah, for sure, because that was right when Mass had just been campaigned, right? I mean, it's just like a battleship that's down tiered, right? You know you want to be aggressive. You know you want to keep your guns firing. You don't want to be behind an island. You want to be drawing fire. You have enough armor to be drawing fire. You just want to be properly angled so you minimize that damage, but you want to tank. Well, actually, let's just cap the base. So really, like Tactic was saying earlier, this is like playing like a dwarf battleship, essentially. So you want to keep your guns hot. You want to be tanking damage for your teammates. You just don't want to get yourself in a crazy position. Actually, we can go ahead and... I didn't know he was going to be so close. Let's go ahead and push out. You just don't want to go in so early, be the first ship spotted, be focus fired by multiple battleships. Get another hit. Oh, straddled it. These guns have a bit of an accuracy buff over the battleship version. Basically very similar to the Bismarck's guns. They, I think, are the Bismarck's guns, but just tweaked a little. About a minute 6 till our Hydra recharges. Probably gonna have torpedoes coming our way shortly. Let's get our plane up. That will help with spotting of torps. These guns are pretty accurate. Nice work. All right. And there's the colorblind screen. Hey, Chalky, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. What have you been up to? How's the campaign treating you, if that's what you're doing? I've not bought my Admiralty backing yet. I'm pretty dang sure I will. Okay, one of our knives nows that spawned on our side wound up having a really nice game. We got second. Another Dreadnought. Staying clear of this game. Did you get frustrated or just have a bad run? Or just get a little bit played out? It's good to have a break. I play a couple other games. I play this on PC, which is a break. I used to play FIFA pretty regularly. Have not played as much of that. I need to get back into that a little bit. So Tactic, I was gone for the weekend, and I like ranked sprint. That is my favorite kind of ranked. Yep, Chalky, I play FIFA. That's probably the other. And then I got when I got my new computer, I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I need to get that loaded. I got a couple of folks, Condemned Froggy, Superman, Mr. Legend, bought a copy of a submarine game that you go into different positions in the submarine. It's a cooperative submarine game that I'm going to try. Oh, I have friends at Bayern Munich as their absolute favorite. I kind of bounce around just because I didn't grow up, in Europe with European teams. So I don't have one singular favorite team because on FIFA, I tend to play Ultimate Team. And I tend to play Premier League, honestly. So I just draw from different Premier League teams. So I can't say I honestly have one favorite. Oh, Bayern is who you support. Okay, if you don't say Bayern, you're going to be sad. No, I do like Bayern. The coaches I coach with, I have a big clique of coaches so that all follow Bayern. So, I like Bayern. I was watching Dortmund a little bit just because Pulisic was on there, Christian Pulisic. And now there's some rumors that he may go to Bayern, potentially. Bavarian Eggs Benedict for brunch. So yeah, I actually go to this little German deli and watch Bayern Munich play with some of my soccer coaching friends. And I have one guy who I've become pretty good friends with, and he has like 30 or 40 Bayern Munich jerseys. He's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. He's a huge Bayern Munich fan. So a couple games ago, oh, cool. That's awesome. I didn't get a chance to check scores. It was just an insane day. But he brought this whole bag of jerseys this one game, 2 games ago that we watched. And he dumped them out on the table at the restaurant and says, you can pick any jersey you want. So he had a Thomas Muller jersey. I'm like, I'm taking that one. And they were going way back. A lot of different uniform styles. So I have a very cool Thomas Muller jersey that I wear now to subsequent viewings of Bayern Munich matches. Dude, he's awesome. He's awesome. Raumdeuter, right? Der Raumdeuter, the space investigator. Just such a smart player. Obviously not the fastest as far as a mid goes, but just such good understanding of space in the game, spacing, and creates and can finish. So I love Muller. He's one of my favorite players. And then obviously they've got some guys who are fast. Yeah, it's such a good team right now. Such a stacked team. You've had new, coaching change, but that's gone smoothly. So it's been good, pretty good times to be a Bayern fan, Jockey. You got it nailed. So I would say of any Bundesliga team, I follow them the most. And when I build a Bundesliga team in FIFA, I will draw more from Bayern than any other team. Yeah, definitely. I did watch that game versus PSG. Wasn't an open, scoring game, but they've got some players that are really fun to watch. I don't know if Coman's going to go to Chelsea in a switch for Pulisic. I'll still watch Bayern anyway, but it's just a fun team. Good combination of players. And they play a similar style to the system that we play in our club where I coach, so it's kind of fun. All right, we finished. Now we're on to, let's double check. We should be on to Shakedown. I've got a couple more games left of me and I have to go to bed. I've been changing out all my credit card processing machines at the pet stores that we have. So tomorrow I have to go do one more store in the morning. Spent 2 hours crawling under the cash wraps, disconnecting cords and all that, and reprogramming. Rangers on a roll right now. Yeah, for sure. I have some friends that are big Man U fans. Big Man U fans. I was kind of following Liverpool before, they became such a powerhouse. So I didn't want to say I like Liverpool and be like a bandwagon fan, honestly. But I followed Liverpool. I followed Tottenham to some degree. So two teams that I probably followed more than others in Premier League. And Man City to some degree. Like, I love Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, he's just, to me, my kids both play mid right now, so I love De Bruyne. Dad is a Liverpool supporter. So one of the other guys I coach with, the big Bayern fans are American. The other coach I coached with 2 seasons ago, who was my head coach, he's English, and he's a huge Liverpool fan. So kind of got a little bit more into following Liverpool because of him. All right, I'm going to go back and play one more game in Azuma, and then maybe I'll finish it out with a battleship game. Don't need this guy on anymore. We don't need a triple credit booster. We'll go double. I keep building my bank balance up. Tactic. I played midfielder. Well, I wound up playing center back, like a marking center back as an adult, but I played all attack and midfielder when I played in my youth career. So my girls got my endurance, and one of them got more of my speed than the other. They're both pretty fast. And they can both run, which you're right. It's like midfielder is total cardio. So one of my daughters plays on the upper team. The other plays in her age group on kind of the second team, but she's been always scratching, kind of getting a chance to at least train with the upper team. So I'm proud of my kids. And my daughter, who I went with on the tournament this last weekend to Phoenix, Arizona, she was a keeper until a couple years ago, year and a half ago. So she lost a lot of time in the field playing keeper. So I'm really proud of her. She's played wing, she's played outside back, she's played now midfielder. So she's splitting time right now between midfielder and outside back. So she's always been really versatile, had a great attitude. You played mostly midfielder. Scrappy. So what, like, were you a 6 or an 8? My girls are both kind of playing the 8 right now. They're not really big enough to be the 6 in our system. They're good defenders, both of them. I just need to push them to think a little more attack-minded when they have their chances. Oh, Chalky, you were a goalkeeper in your high school? Sweet. Okay, so you're from Germany. Okay. Or you're German heritage. Awesome, man. Well, I live in Idaho, but we have a competitive club. Our boys are tied into the Portland Timbers, and our girls are tied into the Portland Thorns. One of the alums of our club actually got some caps with the U.S. national women's team about a year and a half ago. She hasn't stuck with that. It's been really tough for her to stick. Okay, born in Germany. I think you said that one night. And then I've got one of the girls that I've coached forever that is getting some, well, she's 13, but she's getting some national pool looks. And then we've got another girl who's my older daughter's age who plays up 2 years, and she was going to go on another European tour with the United States under 15s, under 16s. And COVID hit, so she's had a little bit of a delay on that. But we have some really, really good players at our club, so it's been fun. I coach more of the second and third teams, but I do have a couple coaching licenses, and it's been really fun learning how to coach and work with the kids and be a teacher versus a player. It's definitely a mindset shift. See if we can get our plane up and spot that Wichita. We're getting spotted up now. There might be a DD close enough to be spotting. in this gap. I would assume there's probably a destroyer there. And here comes Torps to prove it. It's probably a central DD. All right, we've got the reverse bow tanking Iowa. Typical Iowa play. Again, why I don't play as many battleships in Legends just with the closer spawns? I don't enjoy a bow tanking playstyle. Tactic played the alpha in this, as did I, and it was the world of reversing warships. Legends was. I really can't stand bow tanking constantly. It has its merits and situationally, but I don't enjoy just doing that constantly. In the alpha, a lot of battleships just reverse for the entire match. Okay. Oh crap. Okay. Not as close to the island as I was thinking. JB's got his guns pointed the opposite direction, so let's take advantage of that. He already has one fire. Let's see if he has damage control available if we're able to get a second. It's going slower than I thought. Did get a reset. My Asma's reload is not as generous as the Siegfried. Okay. Cut in. Use this island to shield us from the Jean Bart in our turn. Didn't connect as much as we'd hoped. Let's get some fire and pressure on the Belfast, hopefully. Oh my goodness, and we overshoot the Belfast. These battleships are so wide. Guys, you can't get any cap pressure in those positions. It's gonna be tough. Stole a kill there. We'll use Godzilla for the Asma. These are our Japanese monsters. Okay, Belfast is running. Ugh, gonna have to watch the Alabama. Yeah, we're gonna bow into the Alabama. Hopefully he'll overshoot our bow. Maybe. Ugh. Try to break detection behind the island here. Gonna go ahead and use a heal. Probably still a DD spotting us up. Only place we've been able to advance is on the A cap, unfortunately. And our team is really just melted. Makes it difficult playing a ship like Asma when you have a team that either stays way back or suffers a numerical disadvantage like this, because we can't really carry with no armor. It's been a rough night for wins and losses. Guys getting your German practice in. I cannot participate. I have German relatives, not blood relatives. My uncle's in-laws, both their families are from Germany. So we'll go to like Disney World are places where they run into German tourists and they can completely converse and compare notes about where they're from, which is really fun. Ugh, probably should have switched to armor piercing for that Wichita. Let's get our plane back up. Very well could be running into a destroyer here, central. I'm sensing torpedoes. Gonna change our course, do a little evasion. Not sure what's going on at A. I guess we only have one ship left at A. Ugh. There's the DD. Straight ahead. Okay, so let's kite the guys behind us and let's try to get fire on the Akot. Your reputation precedes you. Oh, this is fun. Land this hit, that would be good. You can see the punch that the Alpha Strike in this ship can do as well. Okay, we're no longer detected, so hopefully we can push the DD in his smoke. We have a minute 18. This will help us detect torpedoes, and ultimately if he sticks around in that smoke, it'll allow us to flush him or detect him. We only need one salvo on him at this rate.
Fighter returning to ship.
We're slightly behind in score, so on Playmeister stream. I wish this boat had torpedoes. I really do. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Oh, they're both there. Oh no, 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 we turned the wrong way. He's gonna get us. We got one. At least we got one. The clock was gonna run out really soon. So we got a second kill. Which we need 15 kills, 15 million potential damage, and 1 million damage. So we knocked out a little bit of each of those. So what boat are you setting everyone on fire with, Chalky? I've been known to like to do that too. Though Tactic claims he's not a standoff HE spammer. Oh, and Kid. Yeah, that's a good boat for that. Again, I'm tempted on that Kid package, but I don't really have, well, I'd like to have like a tier 6 premium battleship would be pretty cool. Alright, I got one more game and then I have to get to bed because I have to get up pretty early to go do more computer work. Yeehaw. That was only 105,000 of potential damage. That's surprising. Reshirts to Chappie. Yeah, Archer. You didn't know you're still on. Archer and his partner having a baby tomorrow. Yeah. Like I said, dude, everything changes tomorrow. Let's do a game in a battleship. Let's do the mass. Chalky with a Chappie. I like that alliteration. I'm a big fan of alliteration. All right, let's go battleship with mass here. So tomorrow I'll probably have to jump on a little bit daytime in between working. Yeah, you might fall asleep. You don't know. I know that when they, again, the first time they sent me home when my wife went in late to be induced, but then wound up calling me really early at like 5 in the morning. Better get in here because things are happening faster than we expected. I was asleep. Did take me a little while to get to sleep, but I was asleep. Hey MP, need 10 million silver to get your last tech tree ship, like the last of all of them? You've ground them all out? If so, that's an impressive feat. I've not put enough hours in to nearly do that. Nice, good work. You should get a patch for that. On the PC side, you get different levels of ship collector patches when you hit certain numbers of ships collected. That's awesome. So what's your favorite line? What do you what type of ship do you specialize in? Cruiser, destroyer, battleship, and like what's your favorite lines? Yeah, Tactic. They have the ability to display, the sewn patch, or you can display different emblems. So I can't imagine that we won't get that at some point. It's more of a nice to have, but I don't know if you play PC, but there's these fancy emblems for each nation, and then cruisers, destroyers, battleships. Basically your number of top finishes in those ships. And then there's ones that are just cruiser, destroyer, battleship, aircraft carrier, like your average damage score. So you can switch off between showing your patches and showing your emblems. So it's pretty cool. Hey, another cruiser main. Awesome. I play mostly cruisers. Started out in cruisers, then I kind of started playing battleships more frequently, and then back into cruisers. Trying to play more destroyers. Speaking of that, we probably have at least one destroyer on our side. We're going to be getting focused here. Someone to keep that Wichita honest. We don't need to push too far forward. Just a little worried about torpedoes. Completely getting burned down by this Nelson. I know I'm going a little ham. I'm tired, dude. I had my first vaccination yesterday. So I will say that I'm definitely feeling symptoms from it. I had the Pfizer vaccine. The actual vaccination itself was really, really easy. I'm not a needle fan at all. But I barely even felt it. And surprisingly, my vaccination was given to me by an A-10 pilot. Oh, we got a kill though. Killed the destroyer. So yeah, they're having National Guard guys help in our state with vaccinations at this. Set it up. It's a old Gordman's that went out of business in a local kind of upscale mall, and they have a really nice vaccination center set up in there. So it's from our local A-10 squadron. Sweet A-10 patch and everything on his uniform that gave me my vaccination. So I thought that was really cool. Chatted with him a little bit about A-10s. Don't die, Lightning.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Well, we wound up making the DD shoot his torpedoes on a pretty wide spread. Okay. Let's go ahead and use this second heal. Help push the Colorado here. See if we can be patient. Let him turn and show broadside before we fire. Something I'm quite a bit better at than when I was a beginning player, which was always shooting right when I was reloaded. Why not wait like that when you have more angle? especially when faster ships like cruisers or battleships go into a sharp turn, they bleed speed and they tend to sit at those more favorable angles for longer. Dang you, Nelson.
The ship is on fire.
Fire barge. Oh, we got juked by our smoke here, our destroyer smoke. But yeah, it was a nice vaccination center. The vaccination itself was really easy, but my wife is having pretty strong symptoms, and I'm just super tired, and my left arm is really sore that I got the injection in. Uh-oh. Torp's coming. Let's kite out of this area. See if we can kite the Nelson and get him broadside. If he shows us broadside, it could be bad for him. Nelson's side armor is not great. Good God, you bastard.
The ship is on fire.
Oh, we have to shoot at the DD, though. It's a requirement. Always shoot the DDs, especially at this range.
Problem solved, sir.
And we did pretty good damage on him. Shoot. Come on, come on. Dang it. Oh, a flood.
Hold below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
Alright, we'll use our secondary boost.
The ship is on fire.
Try to shoot the cheek. The Nelson, we're gonna burn and flood. Oh! Ka-chow! At least we got one good salvo in on him. So the cheek of a Nelson, the very front part of the bow, is pretty flat when he's angled like that. So we just dropped 30,000 on him. And the good news is, against a Nelson, he won't be able to heal back that Citadel damage like he can heal back fire damage. That super heal is way more effective at healing fire damage than AP damage. Yeah, I got in too far in. At least I help us take the initiative on that flank. We've got in 82,500 damage pretty quickly. We got a kill. I know we took some decent potential damage, so we kind of did a little bit of work towards our goals. And I would sit here and watch these guys finish this out, but 8 minutes matters to me getting rest right now. So, hey, everyone who came by tonight, Chalky, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Good seeing you in the chat. Tactic, as always, it's a pleasure. And MP Call, thank you. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that somewhat right, especially when I'm tired. I always pronounce stuff and I look at it the next day and I'm like, I know I completely butchered that name. But thanks you guys for dropping in on the stream tonight. Had a follow earlier from Hawks Rising. Really appreciate that as well. And then on the last stream we had Hutch Monkey 1, Modern Day 18. Follow us on Twitch, who has been following us, actually subscribed to us on YouTube for a while, and Green Maddie 83. So thanks to all you guys for your recent follows and for Hawks Rising tonight for your follow. We didn't win a ton of games. I feel like we got better at contributing as the night went on. And as my COVID vaccine symptoms seem to be growing, I'm getting really tired. So it's one thing. If you're super tired and you're grinding and you're not having a good time, it's probably not going to get any better, at least for me. I need my brain intact to be pretty good at this game. So, hey, thanks everyone for joining. I'll be back on tomorrow night. My typical nights are Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but I'm only going to be able to do Wednesday, Thursday this week because of being gone again for another soccer tournament this weekend. Out of town. So Again, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you guys have a great night. If I don't see you tomorrow, hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you at the beginning of next week. This is VannKraken. I am out. Good night. Oh, and Archer, good luck. Good luck. You're not on the Discord, but I'd say give me an update. But hey, best of luck in the morning. Hope everything goes awesome, and talk to you soon.